I really tried, but I'm just not able to make this video an outdoors video. I went out twice, spent hours outside, did a million takes, but it just won't happen. I don't know why, but now I'm gonna do this in a desktop version. These things are the 10 items I usually have in my backpack, and I want to show you. The first item I want to show you is my instant soup. It's not really an instant soup because I use red lentils. Red lentils, or lentils in general, are real superfood. They are rich in protein, rich in fibers, and they provide complex carbohydrates. This is vegetable stock, and this is my spice container. It has pepper, salt, paprika, and curry. Some days I also take an onion with me and some bacon. And the reason why I carry them stored like this is my kitchen, my outdoors kitchen. Everything I need to have an evening in the outdoors fits in this pot. Another item I have in this pot is my coffee filter. This is the coffee for the filter. This is the filter itself. It usually comes mounted with this ring and has a handle. I removed the handle to make it fit into my cup. To use this coffee filter, you put coffee inside, stump it with the seed, put it on the cup and brew it. If the water is through, you brew it again. If you filled it up twice, the cup is full with coffee. I like my coffee fresh. Item number 2, the Vietnamese coffee filter. Coffee in there. Let's continue with item number 3. It's my aluminum pot stand for my self-made alcohol stove. It is also stored in my pot. These alcohol stoves are really practical because they are so lightweight and inexpensive, and you could build them for how long you want to cook. If you do this thing in larger, you can fill in more alcohol and cook longer. For me, this is the right size. And what makes this unique is not this thing, you can find it a million times on YouTube, it's the pot stand. I made it out of an aluminum sheet. It's 3 times the same thing, and you just stick it together like this. And yet you have a pot stand. This is not stable on itself. It can slip out. But if you place the stove inside, it's pretty stable. If you're running out of alcohol, you could also use dry alcohol, aspid. Usually if you're running out of alcohol, you don't have aspid either, but in my pot, when I put all the things inside, there are a few spaces left in which I can put a stick of 2 aspid pieces, and so I have always some spare fuel with me. To use this thing with the aspid, you simply turn around the stove and you can use it with aspid. Burn them in there. My triangle pot stand. The 4th item I want to show you is my so-called Tinder Lighter, Zunderzinde in German. It's a piece of fat wood in which I drilled a hole of the size of a mini ferro rod, and I glued a mini ferro rod inside. This one is pretty much used, as you can see. And this is really practical, because I think most people carry a piece of fat wood with them to have a proper tinder. And if you forget or lose your ferro rod, you have a spare ferro rod with you. Everybody who tried to set up a fire with these mini ferro rods knows they are totally crappy. Not that they don't throw good sparks, but they are so small you can barely hold them. And if you push too hard, they tend to break. With my Tinder Lighter, this is not gonna happen. This is my fuel tank. After I bought the Zippo fuel tank twice, and both time it was leaking, I found this. It's simply 2 shells. One is a 44 Magnum shell and one is a 45-70 shell. They are simply pinched together and they lose nothing, not leaking anyway. It's really practical, and I've never seen someone carrying a fuel tank like this before. Only thing I did was polishing this shell a little bit and the inside of this, because it was a little bit old. Now I have a very good fuel container. And the form, the shape of this thing is way more practical than this thick Zippo fuel tank. Oh, here's something else. Very practical. Double spikes. Spits. For the double spits. What gives these a real advantage over other spits is that you could also use them as a pot stand on a campfire. Usual spits would roll away if you lay them across the stones, traversal, but these won't roll, and so you could use them as a pot stand too. It's also a problem that if you grill wet vegetables, as they get hot, they tend to roll over, and so you can't grill both sides properly. And with these spits, this is not going to happen. You could also use them as a tent peg. This is my first aid kit. It's not really unusual to carry a first aid kit, but every time I see people showing their first aid kit, I miss some things. What I miss is this Thai oil. This is in Germany it's called the yellow oil. It's good for bruise, for muscle ache, for stressed muscles or troubled muscles. And this here is Tiger Balm. I don't know, I think Tiger Balm is a bit more popular. I always thought it's very popular, but people just don't carry it in their packs. This little paste is really nice if you have a stiff neck, or it helps you if you have slight bronchial troubles. These two can't save your life if you are seriously injured, but if you go out and have little troubles with your muscles or your ankle or something, or you wake up have a cold, this can really make your life better. Nice to have. Don't take this one too serious. It's for me it's more a gadget, but maybe one day it saves my life. It's a miniature signal pistol. Just look how tiny it is. It's a backloader. There is still a shell inside, and this thing is to get the shells out. Just look how tiny they are. Caliber 2mm. If you want to fire a signal star, put this cup on the muzzle and you have a signal gun. These signal stars fly up to 15 or maybe 20 meters, which might not provide a rescue on the sea, but it's better than nothing, and it's nice to have gadget. I know you think, yeah right, this thing is barely reaching through the crown, but I have my ultimate survival tool with me, and this provides a secure homecoming. And yeah, I'm sure it won't fail. My girlfriend gave it to me. It's this feather of a Eurasian jay. The Eurasian jay is the guard of the forest, and yeah, he'll take care of me. I'm sure if I have this thing with me, nothing can happen. This is my self-made hobo. I made it out of a steel sheet, and I really like the principle, so I'm gonna show you. It's made out of 3 parts and a bottom. These 3 parts fit in together like this. And after attaching the bottom, it's pretty stable. So, wie man sieht, brennt das Ding extrem effizient. I also like to carry this catfish fishing line with me. This little bit here is about 15 meters, and the fishing line lifts up to 60 kilograms. It's very practical. It's my coffee filter. It's I think it's very common in Vietnam because I bought it as a Vietnamese coffee filter. Another thing I don't see oh, let's continue with this. You get this stuff that the Chinese put in the plastic, and I got this homemade because of these double I just don't know how to explain it. They're not rolling away, you know, and so they are very practical. You could even just abuse them as a Zelthering, I don't know, to fix some cordage on the floor, I'm giving in. I did like a million takes and I nearly broke my tongue. It's not